listen. It is 11 o'clock. It is the 11th day of August 2021. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM. It is RPG A Day 2021, and we are now addressing the other prompt, listen. So, listen. I know I am guilty of posting things in the past that were not flattering towards certain individuals or groups. And I am very guilty of doing things in the persona of the OGGM with the whole intent of getting heat to facilitate clicks and conversations, and that I have said and done things in the persona of this character on this channel in the past that were hurtful maybe, or said in a less than honest way. Of course, I've also said that, I'm portraying a character, which I think I'm not really portraying anymore. It's obviously I've sort of changed the direction of the vlog, though I still do occasionally get upset about things and talk about it. But generally, even at my worst, even at the most ugliest, worst post I've ever made, I've always also tried to be very rational. And I've tried not to be that hurtful. I mean, I may have said hurtful things, but, I've never actually called anybody anything harmful. Or if I have, I apologize. And I've always tried to be rational. Listen, I've always tried to say that, look, this pisses me off. This is stupid. This is just utterly ungrateful and horrible thing, but I get it. Rationally, I understand what you're trying to do. I just don't understand why you're doing it this way. A perfect example is my continued level of issues with Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast has done a lot of things this year, a lot of things last year, a lot of things over the past 20 years, basically since, 3rd edition, where they make choices where, on paper, this is a good idea. I mean, addressing racism and homophobia and the RPG culture, that's a good idea. That's a noble idea. That's something that should have been addressed. Every choice Wizards of the Coast has made from yesterday to 20 years ago makes sense if you're rational on paper. That said, I also 100% agree that while the intent is good, every single solitary choice they have made in how they're going to facilitate that intent and that idea has been utterly self-destructive, stupid. Like, literally, there are things and choices Wizards of the Coast has made where you're like, that makes absolutely no sense. You do realize that. So, I know I have said things to generate heat, and some of those things have been deeply hurtful, and they're probably things I should apologize for and go back and readdress and realize that, sometimes I'm very angry, sometimes I'm very emotionally upset, and sometimes I say things, whether I was in the persona of the OGGM or just because it made me so angry, and I was trying so hard to facilitate that discussion that I actually ended up not really making my own point, but instead of just being stupid, like I probably am now. So I understand why people are upset always so much. And again, it's going around again, this toxic hate for Wizards of the Coast. I get that you feel betrayed, that they're attacking your D&D, your fun, your nostalgia, that they have changed D&D. It is no longer your D&D, and you feel hurt. I get that because I felt the same way. But I also get that no, they haven't. They have not done anything personally to me at no point in time. In fact, I'm pretty sure they have no idea who I am. The choices they make are, in their opinion, what's best for business. Yes, it's not my D&D anymore. My D&D doesn't exist anymore. because my D&D happened at a place and time that isn't there anymore. And the game has changed. The world has changed. The target audience has changed. And I'm not that target audience. Listen, I'm not. I get it. I get it. Sometimes it upsets me. Sometimes I get wrapped up in the toxicity and I end up being as toxic as the people I'm complaining about. But I realize that's just pointless now. There's no reason to get angry about what Wizards of the Coast is doing because it's not personal. It's simply them addressing their target audience and marketing to their target audience, something every corporation and politician has done since the dawn of time. It is the business of business to do business and make money. And right now, Wizards of the Coast is making choices that they feel will make them money. Don't have to agree with them. You can agree with me that some of those choices are stupid, but there's no reason to be angry. And there's no reason to say things like, because somebody appreciates a product that you don't appreciate, they deserve to be bullied. Well, I'm sorry, but I bet there's tons of things I appreciate that you don't appreciate. Does that mean I deserve to be bullied? I mean, I've done a lot of horrible things, but I've never bullied anyone. In fact, I've always tried to stand up against the bullying that I've seen grow in the role-playing game industry. Say, oh, you don't agree with me, therefore you're a moron and deserve to be harassed. That's just ludicrous. That literally makes you no better than the people you're complaining about. And I understand, again, listen, I understand you're angry. You feel betrayed. You feel as if they have taken your D&D and turned it to something you no longer recognize. It's not yours anymore. But also understand, it was never your D&D. It's everybody's D&D. And everybody's D&D is different. And it's a constantly evolving art form because the world changes and the people change. I'm not the person I was 20 years ago. I'm not the person I was 5 minutes ago. So the way I play D&D is going to be different. My D&D is gone because my nostalgia golden era was back then. And back then can never happen again. I can remember it fondly. I can choose to forget the bad times and just focus on the good times and the good memories and the good feelings and the good experiences. But I also need to understand that's gone. And nothing Wizards of the Coast is doing is an attack against me personally or an attack against the industry. They're simply making money. Now, other individuals, yes, have taken those kernels of the intent of Wizards of the Coast, planted them in a garden of toxicity and anger, and used them to grow this movement of just our D&D is the only D&D, and your D&D is bad, and you are horrible people because you don't play D&D the way we play D&D. Okay, most of those people don't even play D&D. They just feel they have some right to punish anybody who doesn't think the way they do. And our response is to punish them because they don't think the way we do. And Lord knows I am guilty of that myself, and I really shouldn't be, and I apologize. I understand where they're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. I don't appreciate some of the things they've said about me, but I get it. I don't appreciate some of the statements Wizards of the Coast has made, but I get it. I don't appreciate being told that, I'm a moron because I like something you don't and I deserve to be bullied and harassed, but I understand your anger. I also understand, listen, that there's no reason to be angry. And if you're just being as toxic as they are, how are you changing anything? And this toxicity environment will go away because it always goes away. There's always been something, and there will always be something. And when the target audience changes, Wizards of the Coast will change what they're doing. But listen, it's not personal. You don't have to agree with me. That's okay. That's the wonder of this world. We can debate this to the end of time, or we can choose to go our separate ways. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change what Wizards of the Coast does. I change what Wizards of the Coast does by not buying their product and by letting them know through these vlogs, through calls, through emails, that I don't appreciate the changes, and I hope that they will address them. And they sort of did recently, at least in a roundabout, backwards way. They kind of did with what Chris Perkins said the other day, but really, at the end of the day, I'm not the target audience, so it doesn't matter. I'm just not going to give them my money until things change. I'll take my money somewhere else, and I'll say the same thing to you. If you don't like Wizards of the Coast is doing, don't buy their stuff. But don't be angry, and certainly don't say horrible things, or say anybody deserves to be hurt or punished or tortured or whatever, because literally that makes you no better than the people who are saying horrible things about us. And that perpetual engine of hate is not going to change. We can be better than that. I mean, at the end of the day, listen, it's a game. It really doesn't matter in the great scope of this infinite universe. It doesn't matter. But I get it. I get you're angry. I listen to you. I hear what you're saying. I understand your point. I appreciate your energy and your passion, but it's not personal. So just calm down. Okay? Because it's nothing to fight over. Listen.